Have you ever thought why some people speak fluent English? On the other hand, why some people never become able to speak English fluently? It's only one difference, and the difference is the people who speak fluent English are the ones who don't care too much about grammar rules, about making mistakes, and the people who never become able to speak English fluently are the ones who care too much about what people will say if they make mistakes. They care too much about grammar rules, and that is the reason they never become able to speak English fluently. As a result, they never express themselves clearly in English. And if you don't want to stuck in the same loop, I want you to watch this video till the end, because in this video I am going to guide you from the beginning to the end. No matter where you are in your English fluency journey, I will guide you. I will get you out of that loop if you watch this video till the end. You might be thinking, who the hell is this guy to teach me all this? Let me tell you a bit about me. I come from a Hindi medium background. I learned this language as an adult. I live in a very small village, and coming from such a very small village, I had no one to practice English with, and despite having any English partner to practice with, I managed to be able to talk clearly in this language, and now I want to teach you that. And in this video I will teach you how to speak English fluently with almost no any grammar rules. So let's get started and talk about all of that. So the first question is it possible to speak English fluently without grammar rules? I would say no. Even native speakers can't speak English without grammar rules. What do I mean by that? They might not be aware of the rules that they are using while speaking, but it doesn't mean that they are not using rules. It doesn't mean that they are speaking English without grammar rules. They are using, but they are not aware of that. And you know the difference between an American and an Indian? It's very simple. American people are not aware of the grammatical rules that they are using while speaking. On the other hand, we as Indians, we are too much aware of the grammar rules that we are using while speaking, and that's why we are hesitant while speaking. That's why we are always in our head while speaking. If I should be using he here, or I should be using she, if I should be using has here or have. We are always in our head after learning too much grammar rules, and because they have been brought up in an English environment, they never think of grammar rules. They never think which grammar rule they should be using. So far we have learned that no one can speak English fluently without grammar rules. So if you are coming from non-English medium background, you must learn some basic grammar rules to get started with speaking English. If you come from a non-English medium background, there's no way for you to learn this language except one thing, and that is learn this language through grammar. And coming from a Hindi medium background, I had the same problem. The question was how I was going to learn this language. I come from a Hindi medium background, and I had to learn this language as an adult. So whatever I had been taught in schools, I had been taught in Hindi. So it was hard for me to learn English, let alone speaking English. So what I did, the only option that I had that point in time was learn English through grammar. So I bought 2 books on grammar, and I finished those 2 books within 3 months. And I learned sentence structure, I learned how to sentences, and from those 2 books I learned to form sentences. I learned to form basic sentences, and then I just got started with speaking. But after 10 to 15 days, I realized that I was not able to put my thoughts clearly in this language. And at that point in time, I thought that because I did not learn enough grammar rules, that's why I was having this problem. But the problem was something else. So I bought 3 more books on grammar, and I dived deep into learning grammar rules. And let me tell you that I know almost every rule of grammar. Deep down, I thought that the more knowledgeable I will be about grammatical rules, the more fluent I will be. So after that, I started studying grammar rules. But after finishing those 3 books, I realized that I was not able to speak English fluently even after reading those 3 books. So my point here is, if you are thinking that learning too much grammar rules would help you speak English fluently, that's never going to happen. So this is my point. Stop learning too much grammar rules. Start learning basic grammar rules. If you come from a Hindi medium background, or if you come from a non-English medium background, learn some basic grammar rules and then start speaking this language. The more you will speak, the better you will get at speaking. But the problem here with you is, Gulshan, I don't have anyone to practice English with. How do I practice? Let me tell you. Every time you open your mouth, it is an opportunity to practice English. Every time you open your mouth. What do you do when you have an English partner? You talk to that person. You first of all open your mouth. This is the first thing that you do when you have a English partner. And this is what you can do alone also. You can practice by talking to yourself. That way, either way you are training your tongue, having a partner in English. So the question is, practice English, practice speaking. Now let's clarify everything that I have talked about in this video so far. Let's sum up this video. So the first question was, is it possible to speak English fluently without grammar rules? No, it's not possible. Even native speakers use grammar rules while speaking. It's another thing that they are not aware of those grammar rules. But if someone is saying that they are using grammar rules, they are lying to you. My point here is, if you come from a non-English speaking country, you need to learn some basic grammar rules to know how to form sentences. You need to learn some basic grammar rules. Again, I am not saying to you that you should diving deep into grammar rules, then you will speak English fluently. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, I am saying you to learn some basic grammar rules, as I did. I just bought 2 books on grammar, and I think those 2 books were enough to learn grammar. And then I started speaking English. Then I started listening to this language too much. I am saying to you that listen to this language as much as you can, because listening is going to create a strong foundation that will help you speak English fluently, that will develop a deep understanding of a spoken English. The next thing is speak. Even if you don't have any English partner like me, I live in a very small village, and if you don't have anyone, make videos speaking in English. Talk to yourself. Like, the point here is, every time you open your mouth, it is an opportunity to practice English. So either way you are going to train your tongue, whether you have a partner or you don't have a partner. Next thing is, how do I start speaking in this language? I would say start speaking through translation. If you learn about basic sentence construction rule, if you learn basic grammar rules, you know how to form sentences. Now you have to start through translation. This is what I did. I started speaking English, translating from my mother tongue into English. This is how I had just started, and you can do it too. Try to translate. Initially, there's no any other way to speak this language. Speak through translation. Initially, try to translate everything. Even if I know that there might be some sentences that you will not be able to translate directly. Start translating, and I hope you got some value from this video. If you got some value from this video, let me know in the comment section, and hit the like button. Also subscribe to this channel, because it motivates me to make more videos. And if you have any questions in your mind, let me know in the comment section. I will definitely reply.